Hello and thanks for checking in once again with Crossroads here on Big Centre TV. Hope you're enjoying the episodes we're showing at the moment, although you might have noticed last week that some of the episodes showed in the wrong order. Now this was all down to one of our computers throwing a bit of a wobbly, and the resulting mistakes happened too late to be mentioned in this show. Don't worry though, I'm told we're back on track now. You'll also probably remember that we can't show you every single episode that was ever made, because sadly a lot of the earlier ones are missing. Now one of the main reasons for that was that television programmes could be very expensive to make back in the day. You might not think so, because all you see is the finished product on the screen, and then 25 minutes later it's gone and there's something else on. But the point is that the actual tapes they used to record the programmes on were one of the most expensive things. Have a look at this. This is the sort of thing they used. Look at that. Monster, isn't it? But some of the earlier ones were even bigger than that. So at some point, TV companies would need to recycle these tapes for another show, and it also saved on the storage space too. And as something like Crossroads was making 4 or 5 new episodes a week, no one really thought that anyone would be interested in the old ones. They just wiped the tapes and reused them. But some did manage to survive, and that's what we've got here. So on Big Centre TV, we're trying to make the most of what's left and give you a chance to see some of the highlights of ATV's classic soap opera set in the village of Kingsoak and made right here in the Midlands. Remember, if you can help fill in any of the gaps in the storylines, do let us know. We know that there are many devoted Crossroads fans all over the place, and so if you want to let us know how much you're enjoying Crossroads again, why not give us a shout? You know where we are on Facebook and Twitter. Just do a search for Big Centre TV. And if you want to email us direct, then it's crossroads@bigcentre.tv. And if you'd actually like to write us a letter, our address is Crossroads Check-in, Big Centre TV, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. A quick look at a few of the messages we've received now, and Crossroads 2001 tweeted after last week's check-in, and he particularly liked the bit at the very end of the show, a Big Centre TV colour production, genius, he says. I recommend Lee's Crossroads check-in if you haven't seen it yet. Oh, you're too kind. Couldn't resist doing that, actually. And David's TV World is enjoying watching Big Centre TV online, and he reckons that the main attraction of the station is Crossroads. You certainly can watch us online. Just pop along to www.bigcentre.tv and look for the Watch Live link. As I said earlier, we had a couple of people mention that the episodes that should have gone out got mixed up with some that should have come a little later, earlier on in the week. And Keith Pavel has sent us an email to say that he once took a call at work from ATV. I was running an office furniture company. They were looking for some office furniture. Sold them a desk, cocktail cabinet, and the cabinet that goes underneath it. When the lads came back from delivering it, they were buzzing. They'd sat in Miss Diane's flat on her settee, no less. A week or so later, I was surprised to see the furniture appear in David Hunter's office. He was in and out of that cocktail cabinet a few times during the considerable period it was on telly. That's a brilliant story, Keith. Thanks for letting us know about that. Keep them coming, and why not use the hashtag BCTV Crossroads, and we'll get your messages straight away. There's a reminder of our details on screen right now. OK, coming up in the rest of today's show, we've got our regular look back at some of the happenings in your favourite daily serial. We'll be taking a quick look ahead to some of the things we should be seeing during next week too. Oh, and we'll be checking in with Jane Rossington, Crossroads' very own Jill. She'll be back with us in the lounge once again, telling us about more of her memories of the early days. So then, it's time to take a look back at what's been happening over the past week at the Crossroads Motel.
Come in. Ah, Mrs. Gray shouldn't have bothered. I'm coming down.
You know what Dr. Maynard said?
Doctors are always overcautious. They've got to be. I've had a wonderful night.
I'm glad.
Just put it down there. Thank you.
Do you have to go to the motel today?
What is it? Mrs. Ryder. Sit down. Now, put your head down. Right down.
Make some plate of fancies and a pot of tea for 2, please.
Sandwiches, butter scones, pot of tea for 3, China.
Oh, hang on just a minute. I was first.
All right, don't blow your cool, girl. The customers won't run away.
I think she went home.
At least she didn't say anything.
Well, I don't blame her, all these people turning up and wanting tea in the middle of a wedding reception.
Shall I go and find Mr. Lofton?
No, don't worry, be an angel and take those through for me, will you?
And your smiling face makes the customers think of hot crumpets on the nursery.
Come on, here.
Thank
The
you very
natives are
much.
getting restless out there. They're dying of thirst.
We know.
Well, it's critical, Amy. I mean, they've had to water out the dog's bowl 3 times.
Right, there you are, Amy. That's yours.
That's it. Yeah, and there's another lot turned up there that want some tea and all, so you better
blimey.
see to them. Excuse me, Mrs. Turtle, but I think you've got the potato bug in your petunias. Sure.
Is that China, love?
What?
China tea. I did ask for China
Don't
tea.
argue. Stick a flower in the water jug and they won't know the difference.
There you are. Hang on, you've got the wrong pot.
Oh, no,
There you
never
are.
mind. Take that one, it'll
Continue.
do. Well, they're waiting.
What the hell are you doing here?
Look, you phoned me. You told me you were interested in going back into business with me. You changed your little mind and let me down. I ask you, was that a nice thing to do, my darling? Of course, old Georgie's come to see you.
Well, something's cropped up. I'm not interested anymore.
Now, don't be rash, love. Let's take things nice and slowly. Maybe you're not interested anymore, but I am.
Get out.
That's quite a little turner for the book, this place, isn't it? Oh, proper little secretary, eh? Respectable, isn't it?
I told you to get out.
Now imagine old Claire in a cushy little number like this. Wait till I tell the boys about that.
Listen, if you breathe a word to anyone.
You know, it'd be quite a giggle if they all came down here one night. Wonder what your boss would say about that.
If you dare do anything like that, they'll make you sorry for the rest of your life.
What's the matter with you tonight? As nervous as a cat.
I keep thinking I hear the phone ringing.
You do. It's been ringing on and off all night.
Kath, I need a drink.
Yeah, you do that. It'll maybe set on your stomach.
Why, what's wrong with my stomach?
Oh, where you're going on, you're working up to a duodenal ulcer.
Yeah, I thought the Irish were supposed to be romantic.
Romantic? Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, all those warbling Irish tenors, I suppose.
Here you are, get that down. You can fix your mind on higher things.
Here, Kath, haven't you ever been in love?
Yeah, dozens of times. It ruins the nerves, something terrible.
Yes, you can say that again.
The Crossroads Motel. Yes, he is. Just a minute. It's for you.
Hello. Vincent Parker speaking.
And we'll be looking forward to what's coming up next week in part 2. Now, it's perhaps hard to comprehend these days, but Crossroads was absolutely enormous in this area. And despite what people, some might say these days, it was very well loved across the country. But here in the Midlands, it really was something else. And very often it would appear on the local news programme ATV Today. So let's have a look back at one of those early reports.
You want to knock me up, please? Help, please!
delving into the old archive again in our future shows. Right, we're just going to take a short break now, but stay with us because we'll be checking in once again with Jane Rossington. See you in a few minutes. Welcome back and thanks for checking in with Crossroads here on Big Centre TV. Now it's time to pop through to the lounge once again and hear some more stories from the early days of our favourite daily serial from none other than Jill herself. It's Jane Rossington.
I was a very wordy actress because I used to mix in with different crowds, if you see. I'd be on the desk. I was often the person who told other people what had happened in the previous episode because they were very worried at the beginning and they used to think that if people won't like it if they don't know what we're all talking about, if they've missed an episode. Yeah. So we always had to try and get in what had happened in sometimes the episode the day before, or maybe to, you know, the general gist of how the story was going.
The old exposition, isn't it?
Yes. So, and that used to fall very much on my shoulders because I was a useful person, because I could talk to anybody. So I could say, oh, by the way, did you know about so-and-so? Which was, so I used to get an awful lot of flights. Oh.
Of course, if episodes ran short as well, you'd have to invent things.
We had this business of the adverts coming up, the line from the post office in London, and they came up just like the pips do for the time. Yeah. The adverts used to come up, and they were totally separate, really, and they came into what we were recording. So we had to be absolutely specific on our timings. And if we weren't, the phone used to go and I used to rabbit on about whatever seemed to be a good idea. Oh, the swimming pool. Yes, we've got a beautiful swimming pool. No, you won't find it. No, it'll be fine. And it's a lovely, yes, it looks beautiful at the moment, you know. And then and somebody would then be going, and at the corner of my eye, and I say, I'm very sorry, I really have to go now. Goodbye, thank you. I put the phone down. Wow. Equally, the other way around, I could see the pages, and I used to turn the pages in my mind and go to the top of the next page. Now, if something had been cut, it's quite difficult to just pick it up halfway down the script. You know, you can, you know, but you've really got to practice it a bit, and we never had time for that. So you'd think, okay, here we go, and somebody would often tell you just at the last minute, oh, cut that and start halfway through. Okay, start with the oh yes at the bottom, and I'm going, what? But the light comes on.
Well, yeah.
So you get on with it. But, and I'm sure this is where we got our dreadful reputation for things falling over and whatever. No. But it was quite scary.
So you had to be a very fast learn.
Yeah. No messing around. First day you could hold the script. The second day you couldn't.
Wow.
Third day was, you had 2 runs. Monday morning it was, that was for the technicians who used to come, have a look and see if they could see any problems, you know, technical problems like can we get the camera into that position or something like that. And then after lunch, Reg used to come and watch it.
The boss.
The boss. And walk around, and if he was happy, we all went home going, woof. If he wasn't happy, we were still there. Oh. Got to do something about this, it's not working, you know.
And Jane will be with us again next time with more of her memories of the early days. Now it's time to look ahead to what we can expect during the coming week's episodes of Crossroads, right here on Big Centre TV. Monday's episode is number 1481, made in April 1971. Alan escapes a prison sentence and gets off with a fine. He discusses his future with Meg. Meanwhile, Vince and Diane's relationship hits a rocky patch.
He'll be called Nicky. You wait and see. Wait and look at Sandy. His real name's Alexander, but nobody ever calls him anything but Sandy.
Nicky, Nicholas, I like them both. Would you marry a man if you weren't in love with him?
It all depends, I suppose. How many marriages do you know of that started with love and ended with hate?
On Tuesday, we've got episode 1495, made in May 1971. Sandy tries to revive a lady who's collapsed in front of him. He succeeds, but is surprised to find her suffering from amnesia. And Mrs. Hope asks Mr. Booth back to her place to watch the ballet.
Did you hear something?
No, I don't think so. Have you ever studied Chinese cooking?
Oh, well, not that I can remember.
I was thinking about our passion for fresh eggs. The Chinese seem to think that the older the egg is, the better.
Did you hear it?
Hear what?
I don't know. I think there must be a cat or a poltergeist in here or something.
Now, a change in weather can often cause floorboards to creak, so I'm told.
Oh, you're probably right.
That's not a bad picture.
Oh, should I turn the sound up?
No. Why not wait until the program starts? Excuse me, but aren't we just a little up on our greens?
I beg your pardon?
Well, it's a question of colour balance.
Oh, I didn't notice.
Well, do you mind if I try to adjust it?
Good old TV sets that need adjusting. You wouldn't get these days, would you? On Wednesday, you can see episode 1674 from March 1972. Harry Wade is back negotiating with Cyril, but is told to bring Sheila Harvey to dinner as part of the arrangement. Jill and Sheila have a thoroughly miserable time in Vera's salon, and in this clip, Amy and Miss Tatum are all set to settle their differences over Wilf, only to find that he's found himself a new dancing partner.
I shall take that as a compliment.
Cool. Must be some shindig.
Shindig?
Party.
Oh, it's the old-time dancing. Amy and I are going.
Oh, best of luck.
Oh, we're not competing, just watching.
My, look at you.
All right?
Well, nobody'll have eyes for the dancing, Amy. They'll only have eyes for you.
Oh, go on.
Evening, ladies. What's it to be then? A nice sherry?
Yes, please.
And I'll have a scotch.
And you're his dancing partner, you never said.
Mr. Harvey wanted it kept secret.
I'll bet he did.
Well, you said the other day you never wanted to hear his name again, so I wouldn't have mentioned it anyway after that.
Haha, Strictly Come Dancing does Crossroads. Love it. Now, on Thursday, it's episode 1688 from April 1972. And after handing over some old items for a jumble sale, Meg tells off Sandy for eating toast in reception. It's all happening, isn't it? Oh, and David Hunter is getting ready to have an upsetting conversation on the phone with Rosemary.
Hello, Rosemary. No, don't hang up. Look, I'm sorry. I said a lot of things I didn't mean. Yes, I know. I was behaving stupidly. But now, why don't you come round here for lunch and we can... Rosemary? Rosemary? Last.
Morning, David.
Oh, morning. Excuse me.
On Friday, we have episode 1736 from July 1972. Meg's sister is struggling without an assistant, and so she sends across Keith Wesley to help. He's streets ahead of her previous assistant, and he even manages to charm Amy Turtle. Meanwhile...
What are you doing here?
Well, don't get big-headed, will you? But I've come to see you.
Oh.
To have that talk.
Yeah, well, Sheila's coming over in a minute.
No, she's not. She's working late. I arranged it.
Sandy and Liz, they're coming over later on.
Not for an hour at least. So?
Look, I told you I've got things to do, all right?
Don, you'll get that paint pot over your thick head if you don't sit down and tell me what's bothering you.
Nothing's bothering me.
You're a liar. I reckon you clouted Sheila one. Well, it was a damn rotten thing to do, Don, but why take it out on me?
Look, I haven't been in the mood to be all sweetness and light.
All right, but why pick on me?
Look, will you stop pestering me?
Oh, that's funny. It used to be the other way round.
And finally, on Saturday, episode 1754 from August 1972. Amy clashes with Alice Loomis, and everyone is reeling from the news of Sandy's accident, which will have far-reaching consequences for the rest of his life.
Hello. Can't seem to keep him away.
Well, there are no problems at the motel, so I thought I'd come back.
There's no difference.
Yeah, I asked you. There are a lot of people asking after Sandy, Meg. Want to visit him when they can.
There's no point in them coming. But Liz should be here. All right, Miss Fenton. Thank you very much. Excuse me.
You haven't told her about Liz.
How can I?
So there you go. That's all to come on Crossroads, right here on Big Centre TV, every night at 9. Well, we've run out of time on Crossroads check-in, but I'll be back at the same time next week, so don't forget, if there's something about Crossroads you'd like to tell us about, maybe you can fill in some of the gaps in the storylines. Maybe you've got some fond memories of some of the episodes we're showing. Tell us who your favourite character is. Don't you just love Amy Turtle? You could even tell us which bits of Crossroads you're looking forward to seeing again in the future. Just get in touch. You can look us up on social media, Big Centre TV, or email crossroads@bigcentre.tv. Thanks for checking in with Crossroads, and I'll see you again next week. Crossroads Motel, can I help you?